Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're embarking on a delicious, retro culinary adventure. For the next 7 days, I'm trying classic American breakfast every single morning. I'm talking about the staples that have graced breakfast tables for decades. The kind of meals that fueled generations. Think diner menus, Sunday morning traditions, and hearty portions. I'm curious to see how this impacts my energy, mood, and overall feeling. Will I feel more satisfied, or craving something lighter? Let's find out together. Day 1 kicks off with a true icon: pancakes with bacon and scrambled eggs. This is arguably the quintessential American breakfast. Fluffy, golden pancakes, drowned in maple syrup, accompanied by crispy bacon and perfectly scrambled eggs. The aroma alone is enough to get you out of bed. For me, this is comfort food, a taste of childhood. The sweetness, the salty crunch, and the soft eggs create a beautiful balance. It's definitely a hearty start, keeping me full for a good while. I'm feeling energized and ready to tackle the day. Moving on to day 2. We're embracing the simpler, yet equally classic, toast, jam, and coffee. This might seem basic, but there's an art to a perfectly toasted slice of bread. Generously slathered with your favorite fruit jam, and paired with a strong cup of coffee. I opted for white toast with strawberry jam. The simplicity is refreshing after yesterday's feast. It's quick, easy, and satisfying. Sometimes, less truly is more, especially when you're in a rush. This breakfast is less about indulgence, and more about a reliable, comforting start. The coffee definitely helps kickstart the morning. Day 3 brings us to another beloved item: waffles with sausage patties. Waffles are like pancakes' crispier cousin, perfect for catching all that delicious syrup. I went for a classic buttermilk waffle, cooked to a golden brown, with savory sausage patties. The contrast between the sweet waffle and the salty, peppery sausage is fantastic. It's another substantial meal, and I feel quite full and content. This definitely feels like a weekend breakfast, but I'm enjoying the indulgence on a weekday. The texture of the crispy waffle is a real highlight. For day 4, we're diving into the savory side with a breakfast burrito. While more modern than pancakes, it's firmly established itself in the American breakfast landscape. Scrambled eggs, cheese, sometimes potatoes or beans, and often meat like sausage or bacon, all wrapped in a warm tortilla. I loaded mine with eggs, cheese, and hash browns. It's incredibly satisfying and portable, great for busy mornings. The flavors meld wonderfully, and the spice from a little hot sauce is a welcome kick. It's a full meal in one hand. Day 5 is all about cereal. And not just any cereal, but a classic sugary kind many of us grew up with. There's something undeniably nostalgic about a bowl of cold cereal with milk. It's quick, easy, and requires minimal effort, making it a go-to. While perhaps not the most nutritionally dense, it hits a certain spot. And the crunch and sweetness are comforting. I chose a simple cornflake cereal, which is surprisingly satisfying. It's a nice change of pace after several days of heavier breakfasts. Sometimes you just need that familiar crunch. As we hit day 6, it's time for the classic American breakfast sandwich. This usually involves eggs, cheese, and a breakfast meat like bacon or sausage, all nestled between 2 pieces of toasted bread, a biscuit, or an English muffin. I opted for an English muffin with a fried egg, cheddar cheese, and Canadian bacon. The combination is perfect: the slight chewiness of the English muffin, the runny yolk, the meltiness of the cheese, and the savory Canadian bacon. It's a truly satisfying and well-rounded breakfast, offering a bit of everything without being overly heavy. It's a very practical and delicious way to start the day. Finally, day 7 brings us to biscuits and gravy. This is a regional classic, particularly popular in the southern United States. Fluffy, tender biscuits smothered in a rich, savory sausage gravy. It's the ultimate comfort food, incredibly hearty and flavorful. The warm, soft biscuits soaking up the creamy, peppery gravy is pure indulgence. This is definitely a meal that sticks with you and keeps you full for hours. It's a fitting end to our week of classic American breakfasts. A true celebration of hearty, delicious food. The sheer richness of this dish is incredible. So, after a week of classic American breakfasts, what are my takeaways? Firstly, variety is truly the spice of life. While each breakfast had its own charm, having such heavy meals every day did start to feel a bit much towards the end. I felt incredibly full, sometimes even sluggish. However, I also experienced comfort and nostalgia with many of these dishes. There's something to be said for the simple, straightforward satisfaction of a good, old-fashioned breakfast. My energy levels were generally consistent, though I noticed a slight dip after some carb-heavy options. Overall, it was a fun experiment, and a delicious journey through American breakfast traditions. Would I do it again for an entire week? Probably not, but I'll definitely be incorporating these classics into my breakfast rotation more often, just not 7 days in a row. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.